Well, hello, hello. Oh, good. That makes me feel better. I was worried about the lighting for a second. So I think I'm live. If you can hear me, if anybody wants to put a thumbs up or just say, yep, we can hear you, that would be great. um, let's see. Hello? Anyone? I don't know how long the delay is going to be. Please tell me the mic's on. Yay! Thank you. You never know. This is like one of the weirdest things. It really is a strange thing to do, but I love doing it. So glad that I have some people here already. We're supposed to start at 11, but Kenny, thank you for being there. Yay, yo did it. Yeah, I did. um, so first of all, thank you so much for being here. Let's see. And since I'm not out there a whole lot on the live streams, I apologize if I don't know your personal name. I'm assuming that we got Patches, Pages, and Paint is Patty. And thank you for being here. Lulu, thank you. And Gabriger, uh, first of all, thank you for saying that you can hear me and also for being here. And oh, Sammy, oh, it's so good to have you here. I've been really excited that the best thing about COVID-19 is I have gotten back to be able to watch some of y'all's streams, and it's been so good. I have an echo. Is it really strong, Kenny, or is it just my house? I wonder. Echo. Is there other people hearing an echo? I'm probably talking too loud. But I'm excited. That might be hard. I have a lot of hard surfaces in my house, and I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem. That's what I'm thinking. You know what? I'm going to go. This is really silly, but I'm going to go get some blankets and try to put them around me and see if that helps. Not around me, but around the area. Thank goodness my husband's not home right now. He would think I'm insane. All right, I don't know if that's any better. Plus, I probably need to calm down. That's probably more it than anything. So the light, I have actually bought a few lights because my house is so bizarre, and I noticed that a lot of my videos in the past, I had really weird hand colors and things like that. Hey, Vicky! I'm trying not to be too overexcited because I have a tendency to have my house echoing, though I have just put blankets all around me. So today, what are we working in? Well, I have, because I can't speak French, and it's this is what we're working in. Menuet de Bonheur. So, okay, that's about as French as I get. Sorry, people. And I'm Southern, and I really ruined that beautiful language. So, the reason that I chose this picture today is because, number one, I want to try to finish something in the next 2 streams that I have so that we can see a finished product. And I am the world's slowest colorer, as most of you will know. And I picked this because it has repeated elements throughout it. Now, number one, I love this book and I love Prismacolors, so that's the other reason that I chose this. But if you notice, we have 3 little mice. So there, and then of course we've got multiple mushrooms, and the mushrooms, like this one is kind of like that one. This one is like that one. It also has the flowers, which are repeated again. And what I thought I would ask all of y'all is, what element, if you want me to try to do the background, which I've kind of done like a soft background. This was something I really wanted to try to do for this picture, is kind of make this look like it's in the woodlands, but maybe it's a small clearing. So, Menuet de Bonheur. Oh, Patty, look at you. Did I say it even close? That was really well spelled out. See, I'm Southern. I want to pronounce all the sounds that I see. Was that close, Patty? Don't get the Southerner talking close. I like that. Not good, not great, but close. I went to Paris in December and I was practically mute. I knew I was mutilating that incredible language. So, but I thought I'd ask you guys, just starting out, like if there was a preference of what you would like me to work on, you know, because the background or a mouse or a mushroom, if there's anything. Otherwise, what I probably will do, because this is how I typically do color, is by doing my backgrounds first. Thanks, Kenny. Thanks for saying it sounded great. But I just wanted to kind of make sure that I'm covering an element that everybody was excited or was interested in. So it's gorgeous as it is. All right, so it looks like you guys are okay with me doing whatever I want. I'm not seeing any specifics, so that's fine. So you know what? We're going to start with the background because it does take the longest. The other elements actually go pretty quickly. And like I said, I'm really hoping to complete this page before the end of this weekend, which is highly unusual. As you can see all around me, I've got tons of stuff, all my menus for how I actually decide. The upper back, oh, I don't care. Okay, they don't guide at all, do they, Vicky? Okay. All right. Thought I'd give options, but that's fine. So basically, I've got to just pull out how I did my background on my little menu. So I use cheat sheets all the time. So I'm going to leave that right there. Now, okay, everybody, tell me, is that backwards? Because it's backwards on my computer screen. So if it is backwards, I apologize. But if it's not, it's got the listing of all of my colors that I've used and kind of in order so that I know to maybe do lavender before I do the gray lavender or vice versa. The other thing is, because this is a live stream and I cannot go back in and put all the names of the colors, I have done what a lot of other people have done. And basically, I've went ahead and again, oh gosh, is this backwards? Oh, it's not backward. Okay, awesome. It just looks so bizarre on my screen, guys. Perfect. But I have my, here I have written out that it's Prismacolor, the color, the number, and the name of the color. So I'm going to try to use those going back and forth. Though I'm not used to doing them, so I might forget some. But I just thought that since I can't put the colors in like I normally do on my normal videos, this might be a little bit helpful for anybody who's watching this later and just want to know for sure what colors. I will try to say the colors too, but that's not always easy. All right, so let's see. And then the other thing is, I think this is as close as I can get you guys because, all right, I'm going to try something. But I'm scared. I can't really control my camera, I don't think. So hold on, please. All right. I don't think I can change my camera, which is really annoying. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with it, guys. We're going to have the best I can do is physically bring the camera back down if need be. But for right now, I think that's a pretty good. You can see it pretty well what I'm doing. So starting with the background. So just to explain what you're seeing a little bit. Here we go. Is I wanted it to look like a clearing. Okay, wonderful, Vicky. We're going for the background. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see everyone in here. Okay. So what I've kind of done is the idea is this is a woodland kind of open area. And so we've got sun coming in from this way, but around it is of course going to be darker. But I wanted it to look a little bit like it was springtime, and the mid-story plants you see here, kind of like azaleas, maybe we should be imagining, are in bloom. So I wanted a little bit of color. So we're going to start this and hope I can remember because I did do this a little while ago. All right. Let's see. So we're going to start over, and I kind of start sides and then come in or go this way. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start from the center and go out. I think that's going to be easier. And we are just going to go ahead and we're going to start with cream. Again, this is going to be a little bit awkward for me because I really don't normally put my little tags out. So let's see. All right. So this is going to be really light. I like to always go back into stuff that I've already done. See, I'm already messing with that tag. Isn't there a song about a tag or something? No. Hey, Shannon, thanks for joining. And Joanne, you snuck in. See anybody else? Now, Lozzie. I love that. Lozzie. I love that name. All right, so basically we're just doing, you know, and of course I do my circles, but I'm just putting that first little layer, and it's just cream. And that's kind of like, if you think about it, that's my lightest area, and I really want it as bright right out here. And I'm sure you guys are probably not seeing it, but I do need to put this layer down before I go to the next one. So we'll only be using Prismacolors and a Posca pen, just to I use the Posca pen to get rid of some of the lines. That's mainly what I use it for. Coloring books always have such strong lines. All right. Jackson Sanders, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I don't do a lot of lives, but they are always fun when we do. All right. And Vicky, before I go any further, I do want to say thank you so much for organizing this and inviting me. These are always so much fun to watch and to kind of be able to pop in and out of. So, and I understand if people can't watch the whole time, please, you know, go about your lives as well. Hopefully this is something of some interest. But I also understand that there is a lot of life going on out there. A lot of life. All right, let's see. Well, one of the things about subscribing, and thank you for putting that in there, Vicky, that's really sweet of you. Do know that I don't do just coloring. I am a bit of a book reader, and I also do a lot of gardening. So I like having all of my hobbies. Definitely. You know, involved. And it's funny because I retain the name Colorful Book Nester because between my coloring books and my flowers that I like to grow, I like lots of color in my life when I can. That's for sure. Though really weird today, really weird. We had snow again for the second day. Oh, is that what I could hear, Vicky? Tekla snoring all the way over here. Oh, I'm glad she snuggled up with you. That's awesome. But yeah, so we had snow yesterday. Woke up to probably about 6 inches of snow. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. But you know, that's what happens here for our spring break. We will have in one day, and literally this happened the other day. We had an hour, within an hour, it snowed, the bright sun came out, then it sleeted, then it rained, and then the sun came back out, and then it started snowing again. All day long, I was like, what is going on? What is going on with this? All right, so I've kind of put down that base. I'm going to continue just kind of bring it over. I want that area that's highlighted to be right about in here. So I'm going to bring it just a little bit more. And I know it's not the most exciting color to start off with. And look, I've already lost. Did y'all see that? Yeah, of course you did. I already lost my little, what color I'm using. Ah, this is going to be so hard and so weird for me. Sorry about that. So yeah, so we've been having snow and everything else. Anybody else having weird weather? Because it always happens here. Let's see, snow, rains. Yeah, you got it, Vicky. Perfect emoticons. That, and then just repeat that every hour for the whole day. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. All right, so now we're going to go in and darken up the edges just a little bit. I'm going to start that, and I'm going to use that with my Deco Yellow. So we're moving over to Deco Yellow. And I kind of, again, I back my colors back into the color that I did before. And by backing it, I just mean I kind of go over so that you get those blends a little bit more. But we're just going to do this ever so lightly. And it's funny because this color then, because it is a darker, more intense yellow, kind of makes the cream stand out like it's a bright yellow or a bright color. You had snow 3 days ago, Patty. Well, you must have sent it to me. I don't know where you're at here in the United States. Or, well, okay, that was an assumption, and I apologize. I shouldn't assume that you're in the States. But that sounds about whatever came and got us must have, it usually goes from west to east. So, yeah. You must have sent it over to me. Not sure if I'm happy about that, Patty. My spring breaks are always like this, though. So this was actually technically my spring break. However, and they actually gave it to us this year. So I work in schools. Some of you know that. And that's another reason why I've been so busy since all this started. My March, I didn't get much reading done. I didn't get my colors done. It was crazy. It was really, really ridiculous. And so I work in the schools as a speech language pathologist. So we're having to do the remote learning. Whoo, talk up. Okay, this clicking. It's all right. Sorry, I got to figure out how to do this. See, every time I put my hand down. Sorry about that. This desk is really weird. It's actually made of metal. It's not wood, and so I have this one spot that's weak. And usually I don't color on this, so it makes a popping noise every time I pick up my hand and move it. Wow, flooding, really, Patty? That's a lot of snow then. Yeah, so we didn't get a whole lot of snow this winter. We did not get as much as we normally do. We had a couple, we had really early, like in November and December, and then we haven't gotten much. Where are you at, Patty? Wow, that's always scary. So as you can see here, because that little bit more intense, this deco yellow, it makes this look like it's brighter, like this is where the sun is. So that's kind of how I make that appearance. You're in Canada. Oh, wow. So you guys had a lot more snow than us. So I guess I'm not going to blame you for the snow that we had then if you're in Canada, because that kind of doesn't, very rarely does it come down and get us. We usually get it straight from our west coast here in the States, from west to east. You can see it moving. All right. I'm going to do just a little bit more. And then I am going to bring in one more kind of intense, and this is your canary yellow. So we're going to try canary yellow. Oh, thank you, Vicky. You know, it's funny. I started doing it, but this book is amazing. Okay, guys, let's just talk about the book for a second. This book, between the drawings and the paper and Prismacolors, it just loves Prismacolors. The blending I've been able to get in this book just always makes me so happy. It really, really does. And that it actually goes pretty quick for me. Okay. Enabling alert. Come on, everybody knows about this book. Vicky, I like the little red sign. That's funny. Wow, these emoticons are really hilarious that they've now put it on here. It's quite an upgrade since I've been paying attention. Yes, I mean this book is absolutely. I love the drawings in it. Definitely one of those artists that I hope continues on making a lot of books, but you know, she doesn't come out with tons of them, but boy, when she does, and she recently did a Coloring Haven one as well that I just magazine she did some for, so that was great. Oh, Jen, it's Misreading with Pugs. You know what, Jen? I missed your stream last night. I was on the phone with a friend of mine from Alaska, and because we're 4 hours difference. Completely forgot what time it was because I'm looking at her and it was all, you know, sunshiny and bright, and I wasn't even thinking how late it was. I'm really kind of sad. But I will be watching it back definitely, but I can't believe I missed it. All right, so now we're going to move on to chartreuse, and that's going to be for these edges, and that's all I'm kind of doing. I'm going to do it really light as always. And again, as you can tell, I'm using my circles just so that I don't get any of those straight, really strong lines. Yeah, I have Rhapsody in Forest too, Lulu, and love it as well. In fact, I was working on my corgis in winter. I have one more little video part of that I want to show you guys of how I go in and do the candlelight around it, but that's actually coming out pretty well. And I did finally cave, just to let you know, and painted the painted the sky black, and then I'm putting my stars back in because I didn't like how she did the stars. But otherwise, yeah, no, love her books. It was more chatting than coloring. No, what a surprise, Jen. We're all there for the chat. We're all there for the chat, which will make it wonderful to sit and color too. So, all right, so we're starting to get into that little bit of that green, and as you can see, so that's how I kind of make that bright spot, and then we're going to back off. And now I'm actually probably going to come from this side and go this way, and I really like kind of starting with my darker colors and going to light. Now that I've kind of built up my frame, so to speak, I also am going to be putting in the pinks in a little bit. So I'm going to start over here, and let's see, what do I have listed? Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start putting in those colors. So we're going to start with lavender. Ooh, Mona, have fun with those. I love ink tints. They're fantastic. Corgis in Winter. Okay, so Corgis in Winter, Patty, is what I called the page I did in Rhapsody in the Forest. If you go back and look, I have one, maybe two videos where it's like a night sky with some little corgis in it, because I love corgis. So if you're interested, or if you just want to see what the page as far as what it looks like, but that's in Rhapsody in the Forest, also done by this very same artist. All right, so now is when I'm going to start putting in that little hint of purple and pink, and kind of again kind of thinking of it as going around. It's kind of making a U, and I'm just going to kind of splatter it in there, but I'm just going to start kind of adding it, kind of continuing it from here. And guys, look, it's just squiggles. That's all it is, because it doesn't need to look like anything more. Oh, no problem, Patty. I'm so glad you're here. It's just squiggles, guys. Look, wiggly squigglies. That's all they are. Another masterpiece of squiggles. Because this is just, you know, it's just supposed to be like, it's in the mist. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Elise. It's actually doing pretty well with the colors. So what will happen is, yeah, most of this, like up in here, that's basically I'll leave. And then you'll start seeing me building the layers into one another, if that makes sense. So like right now with me going over with the purple just a little bit, it's going over that layer. And then to get that purple to be a little bit brighter, I'm going, because I want it a little brighter up here on the edges, I'm going to just do it on the plain paper, and then you'll see how it keeps building. I have a tendency to do a bazillion layers. Y'all don't even want to know how many layers in that silly mushroom. It's crazy. But this book goes really quick, or I feel like it does, because it just loves Prismas. And I can do it so light, which I'm really happy about. All right, so we're just going to keep going. I'm kind of looking up. So yeah, it's just little squiggles. That's all it is. Random, very random. All right, and I'll probably put a couple here, down here. But the randomness in the squiggles just allow that we don't have any of those really strong lines. All right. And that was, see, I've already missed it. So just so everybody knows, That was PC934 lavender. So see, this is going to be really a challenge for me to remember. But I love when everybody else does it. Because the other thing is, if you really don't like my voice, which that is possible, you could mute me and still watch, and then the colors still come up at least, right? All right. Now we're going to hit with a little bit of vibrancy. I'm going to go ahead and grab my blush pink. There you go. And I'm going to go right inside, and this is where some layering is going to be happening because I'm going to go back into the purple a little bit. And this way you've already got shadows kind of building. So think of the purple as the darker pinks and, you know, just mixes in the back. So again, just little squiggles. That's all they are. But they start building up. And then I go into the yellow a little bit just to continue the colors. And I will go back over here. And I'm just kind of putting it where the purple, where I also put the purple so that you get that mix of color. Oh no. Patty, they're real. It's yeah, okay. Yeah. This is an amazing book. This would be one I could see me even buy multiples of, and you know, if it's still available, but I really don't need it. I was looking at, you know, I still have that weird feeling, even though I know I have enough coloring books for 3 or 4 years if I colored every day of my life, especially how slow I color. But I I still have that feeling that, oh my gosh, we might be out of coloring books one day. And unfortunately, my computers kind of went on the kaputs. I mean, not my computer, I'm sorry, my printer. And so PDFs are not an option for me. And I don't know when they're going to be. And it's really sad because I see all these wonderful PDFs, Sammy, and her beautiful PDFs that she shows all the time. And I'm just like, oh. And I know that's a much better way to store and all that, but I hate fighting with my printer. I just hate it. I just hate. All right, so we've got kind of a little pink purple kind of semicircle going around, and that's kind of what I wanted. And now I'm going to go in and, like I said, I'm going to start from the other side and come in, and we're going to start with some of our a little bit darker-ish, not too dark. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit of, now this is an unusual color. Where's it at? Not only am I trying to find my colors, but I'm trying to, there we go. We're going to go ahead and do, oh, no, don't mind me. A little bit of pale sage over here. So, all right, so now we're coming in, and I am going to start from back over here and start heading towards my yellow. Oh, hello. Is Amber Lee, or is that right? Do you pronounce the E at the end? Okay, guys, everyone, this lady, her channel, if you're not subscribed, please go subscribe. She does some of the most beautiful work. I watched her yesterday and working on, and you talk about being able to make Prismacolors meld into skin that looks like it was digitally mastered. The girl, it was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I loved it. And she does it with such confidence, and it was great. So please go out, and if you've not subscribed, go look at her channel because it's some fantastic, really intense, beautiful coloring. Really love it. Oh, no problem. I really enjoyed it. And she did something really cool yesterday. She did a premiere. And so what happened is you were able to upload your video, it looked like. And so her video's already loaded. She's already done it. And then she was able to participate in the chat while it premiered. And I thought, maybe I might try that because it was really nice to be able to chat with her and ask her things as we were going along. And, you know, I'm always worried I might miss something if somebody's asking questions because, you know, I'm also coloring at the same time. So I thought that was really a neat little idea. I loved it. Oh, black hole baskets. Oh, is that one of our new phrases for when we get enabled? I love it. Yeah, that kind of does happen very easily. All right. You know what? Let me see. All right, everybody, hold on. Shaking the camera. I'm going to try to bring you down just a little bit. Yeah, because the colors are so faint because of, I'm worried that you're not able to see them at all. So we're going to start coming into that yellow with this pale sage, and it makes a very interesting color. But this is how I start that blending process back and forth between each layer so that we don't get those really strong lines. And you just start building up. Yeah, that premiere looked really neat. I might have to try something like that. All right, so Rain's Chains for Less just popped in. Love that name. Love it. Welcome, welcome. Do you want to go by Rain's Chains? Because we easily can do that. Now I'm going to bring this green down into that purple area that we just did, but very lightly for right now. I'm not ready to start covering up. But what this also does is when you bring the green in, or anything, any other color, any of the whites that I've missed because I do my squiggles kind of get filled in, and then you start looking like leaves right next to these very, very faint little flowers in the back. It also kind of deepens the flowers sometimes. So we're going to keep coming down. All right. Patty, you fell into the black hole basket. Definitely. The black hole that is such an appropriate name, the BHB. All right. So we've got this little bit of this pale green. It's so hard to see. I'm sorry, guys, but all right. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you subscribed to Amberly. She is, again, really, really great stuff that she does. Beautiful. All right, let's see what's my next color. Oh, that's interesting. All right, so now we're going to get rid of pale sage. Oh, and it doesn't look like oh, there it is. Now I'm going to bring in just a little bit of the jade green. This is a pretty powerful color. It's really weird. But I'm going to start putting it up in the tops just a little bit, kind of indicating a little bit of blue sky maybe poking through just a hair. But it is a pretty strong color, so, well, by the other color combinations. And again, as you see, it's nothing but my circles. That's all it is, nothing but my circles. Oh my gosh, riding the temptation wagon to Doomsville. Okay. Goodness me. This is taking on a dark color. We're a coloring community. A dark color already, I can see. As far as the purchasing. Hey, I've been plenty enabled by almost everybody sitting over here on this whole little chat box at some point or another. Just saying. Oh, Jen's sneaking out. I see her. Bye, Jen. Please come back. Bring her back up to speed. Yeah, obviously, I'm not as aware of all these terminologies. I've had the experiences, just didn't know what they were called. It's kind of like knowing what you're ill with and finally getting a name to it. Ah, is that what that is? Okay, now, something I want to show you guys, and I'm going to do this, is, I don't know if you can see it. So over here, do you see this little bit right here? The impression is I want to think there's like a tall tree, and this is their trunk, just faded kind of in the background. And so that straight line kind of stands out because of that. And that's what I'm hoping to do over on this other side is maybe put a couple little in there. So because this is a pretty strong color compared to what I've been doing, I'm just going to go ahead and really just all I'm doing is putting in a straight line. And then I got to decide how wide. So you know what? I don't want to be a really wide tree. So we're just going to do that. And then you'll see it. It'll kind of always stand out. And I think it's because of the straight line against the squiggles. But I'm not drawing in really heavily handed. I'm just giving a ghost of an impression. And then I'm going to use my color and pull from that line a little bit. Sammy and Vicky are getting blamed by Lozzie for some of her recent acquirements. Haha. Yeah, well, like I said, those two have a lot to answer for that is sitting in my house too. But they make it look so fun and so easy. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. Nah, that's why we're here, so we can show off all these different things. All right. So let's put that away for a moment. Bye-bye, Jade. Oh, now we're going to come in with this obnoxious color, but I really like it. This is for a brightening color. If you want something to be kind of brightened, this is a great color to use. And it works with also with your yellows and definitely your greens. Oh, thank you, Sammy. It's chartreuse. Oh, y'all probably knew that because look, there's the little, look at that. Yeah. Well, okay. Now it's going to be in the way. All right. And all I'm going to do is just start popping that in here in very random and I'm going to use that kind of start blending in a little bit because it is really, it glows. So we're just going to put it in just kind of random spots. Again, squiggly wigglies everywhere. Oh my gosh. When my son was really young, he found this old cartoon, or we did, on a videotape that shows you how young he was, and it was about this octopus, and his name was Squiggly Diggly, and every time Squiggly Diggly would come on in the cartoon, he would just start trying to say his name, and he would get so excited. And he's like, squiggly, 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 diggly, squiggly, diggly. My husband was just like, oh no, our son's broken, or he's gonna, if something's not right, he would get so excited. So now when I say squiggly wigglies, that's what I think. Oh, thank you, Rains. I'm a slow colorist, and I'm a very timid one in that I have to be very I do very light layers, so that may or may not be your cup of tea. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I am very, very glad that you're here. Yeah, no, my poor little son. Nothing like breaking your child, but he was very excited about squiggly diggly. All right, let's see. Now I'm going to just start kind of filling in. So see my little tree trunk here? Let me get that back into shot. Sorry. I'll just start kind of putting like little highlights and stuff. But those dark lines, it's really neat how it kind of helps. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, because this is something else I did and I liked, is over on this side, you see how there's like these little hints of branches? There's just these little hints. So we're just, again, it's just an illusion. It's just this, like they're way in the back and the bright sun is so strong that we're just going to kind of, I mean, and again, these straight lines that you just, and look, I'm just making funky, weird branches. Just a little hint of them. And it's weird because I think that the straight lines, like I said, really kind of stand out. I am not an artist, guys. I don't draw. I just kind of make hints, allude to it. And then I'm going to go in with my, oh, sorry, we've changed. Lime peel. Oh, good night, little Melody. Thanks for jumping in, though, and for saying hi. You get some rest, young lady. You get some rest. but thank you for stopping in. So the lime peel and the chartreuse are interesting colors together because they really, the chartreuse is really bright, and even the lime peel, it's one of my favorite greens. But we're just going to keep wiggling about a little bit. Just a little bit. uh, all right. So, I mean, this is, and you can do this with so many different colors. And I mean, again, these squiggles just allow for a freedom, and then you just keep building on the colors. Um, I see so many beautiful backgrounds of others that are doing them and stuff, and I'm always like, can I replicate something similar to that with just my pencils? I don't have pan pastels, and I do have Faber-Castells, but I always go back to my Prismacolors. But so for backgrounds, I'm always trying to come up with something different or something, or just stretch myself. And I go look at inspiration pictures all the time. All right, let's see. Yeah, Vicky, you did this. Yeah, you did this. All right. Next, we're going to go to, oh gosh, is that it? Nope. All right, so sorry, guys. I'm also having to look for my pencils. There we go. All right, so now we're going to be coming in with a little bit darker, and that's the olive green. And I'm really going to start kind of delineating out that tree a little bit with my olive green. Just give it a little bit of bark, a little bit of texture maybe, just a hair. Again, I should say the tree trunk. And then I'm going to put a little bit of dark green in places, just because you would have those variances of greens. And we can start getting darker over here anyway, because that's kind of like further away from the light, like it's a deeper woodland. Oh, I love it. Hello, Chica. It's nice to see that you're here. I like the name. That's fantastic. What are my fave colors? For greens, which I use a lot of green. I don't do as many portraits as like Vicky and Sammy and them do, because they do them so beautifully. But I do a lot. I like a lot of florals and things. So one of my favorite color greens is actually this marine green, which I'll be using in a little bit. Marine green and kelp are like my two favorite greens. I notice I mean I use a lot, and I also like a lot of some of the really vibrant oranges paired with yellows, because I like how they glow. In fact, in this book, probably one of my favorite, and I'm not going to remember what the color combination was, but I remember doing this, and I loved it. These are some poppies, and I just love that orange and yellow kind of glow. Absolutely loved it. And I like the intensity. I did this a couple of years ago, and just doing the poppies was so fun. So I love oranges, and I love yellows. And then for my greens, I do find that I usually have to replace my kelp green and my marine green quite often. Pomegranate, actually, no, I'm not using pomegranate now. I don't think I am. No, I don't have that. That is a really pretty vibrant color too. I like that one. And it can go with a lot of different, a lot of different colors. Between reds and purples and definitely your pinks. And even I think I've used it like shadowing with the blues and really have liked that as well. Oh, coloring off into space. Y'all can't even see it. I apologize. So who was it yesterday? Was Honor Your Craft? Is she the one who was doing the paint by numbers? That was a lot of fun to watch too. Some beautiful blues in that. Boy, there were some. The paint by numbers I love because I like seeing the color combinations that they have you do. I can just look at the pictures. So, Lozzie, what colors do you like to use it with? Do you use it more for your reds to make them more intense, or do you use them more for purples? What do you use that pomegranate kind of in, or do you all of them? I can see, doing all of them, all of the above. All right. Oh my goodness. All these little itty bitty bits. Now, something that I'm thinking will probably happen is when I'm done streaming, because we know I won't be done with the whole picture. I'm going to continue tomorrow. I was thinking maybe of definitely saving the mice for tomorrow as well, how to kind of make them look a little bit fuzzier, maybe, if y'all are interested in that. Okay. All right, Lozzie. So yeah, but yeah, that's what's kind of cool with it. I mean, it brightens it also, it intensifies some colors. Isn't that funny how we find those colors that we either kind of learn how to incorporate and use? Like I use yellows for a lot of blending and stuff because it always brightens up stuff. And so I always like that. All right, so that's probably, yeah. So what I'll probably do tomorrow, plan on, is we'll do this little mouse, and then if I have anything else that you guys here see element wise that you want, but I'll definitely, because what I'll do is while I'm watching everybody else, because Sammy comes on after me, and while I'm watching everybody else, I'll continue working on this page because, like I said, I would love to be able to finish it for you guys to be able to see it tomorrow, which is unusual. But it's been nice to have this to focus on, definitely. I've been a little bit unfocused with work and what's going on. I know a lot of people have mentioned this. It's been a little bit hard to, I don't know, keep your mind focused on things and get things done. And this color-a-thon and planning for it has been fantastic. Now, this is where I really start going with starting just layering. And I just kind of watch and see how things work. So number one, I'm going to take this chartreuse and start kind of blending some of these darker greens that I just put, just because I really like that, the brightness, the kind of the golden yellow stream from the light. It kind of seems like it's coming from behind a little bit. Yeah, it's been interesting. I've had so much that to be doing, but it's almost been overwhelming. So then I get to a point that I'm so overwhelmed that I don't feel like I'm getting anything accomplished or focused on. But it was nice having this because I knew I needed to do it. I had a deadline. I wanted to have something to be able to share. I mean, if Vicky's going to put this together and everybody's going to come and show up, I wanted to make sure I had something. And it was nice to be able to focus on something so positive. So it's been really, really good. And it's helped me get on track with other things in my life. We really start our remote learning tomorrow. And so, and I'm going to go ahead and instead of doing live classes with my students, because for me, there's a lot of healthcare private information that I have to be careful with, and I'm going to do videos because that's what I know how to do, and use that. In fact, I did a video the other day of me doing some seed starting, and it's a series, and so I'm going to post that up, and the kids can watch it, and they're going to tell me what are the 3 main steps of sowing seeds. So I'm going to put that up for them on their Google. So it'll be interesting to see because I have a lot of kids who have sequencing challenges and being able to tell a story in a proper sequence. And identifying key elements, things like that. So yeah, I'm hoping to do that. All right, so as you can see how this is starting to kind of build and mix together a little bit, and that's what I keep doing. I keep building and adding. I'm actually going to I'm going to take this chartreuse and kind of go where I also put those branches, because the chartreuse with the lime peel kind of make them illuminate out a little bit more. So you kind of see them. And then I'll put a little bit more here, more on this side of the tree, that really faint hint of a tree. And then I want to go in and intensify these colors a little bit that I did before. We're going to start with the pink again. And I want to make it a little bit brighter. 5 colors. Oh, interesting. Rains. Name 5 colors you never use? Oh, thank you, Vicky. What? My positive. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, that was espresso. Somebody was not paying attention. That's not the color I want. I wanted pink. Oops, that would have been interesting. This whole community is so positive, and I love that. I love that so much. We're very, very fortunate, and I'm glad that we have some really great people here. So thank you, Lazi. Thank you for the compliment. All right, so we're going to go in. I'm going to go in a little bit stronger with my pinks because I can. And I'm going to bring in some pink even down here. And I'm going to do that a little bit stronger. Now that I'm seeing kind of how these are blending, I'm like, oh, I want some more vibrant. I want more of that hint of those flowers back there. And this is where I'm cautious and not quite as confident as a lot of other people when I'm coloring. And that's why I do things lightly, kind of almost to sketch out a plan. And then when I see stuff working, it's like, woohoo, yay, here we go. So you get that little bit of that pink in there. I can't live without. Lime peel, definitely. So you got Tucson red, gray lavender, goldenrod, espresso. So I've already said marine, green, and kelp, definitely. I'm going to have to agree with lime peel. I have, like I said, a lot of greens. I would say deco yellow, because I do use that to highlight and really bring colors out. So I don't know how many that is. So kelp, marine green, lime peel, deco yellow, and what would be my last one? You know, for shadowing and stuff, I would probably have to say the 90% cool gray. It's not black, but I can use it for a lot of shadowing, and then it mixes really well with other colors. So if I'm doing a blue, so like this little section here, there was some blue, there was some slate gray I did in there. There would be, and some lighter gray. But to get some of those really deep shadows within even that gray, I use that 90%. Same thing even down here. Let's see. With the mushroom, that 90% gray. I didn't use black, but I was using gray. And also for darkening up these greens and browns, there's something about it that allows the color that I'm putting it over to still shine through. So I think it's really useful. I really like that one. Boy, Rain, you've got a lot of good questions. I like it. Making me think, though. Whew. Making the old brain have to work. All right. So that was our blush pink. And now I'm going to come in with my lavender again, because I want, like I said, I'm trying to build up those colors a little bit more so we can see them. Just that little hint. And I'm going to go fill in. And again, this lavender ends up, this lavender ends up kind of looking almost like a shadow to the pink. So you're getting those different, again, if you think of this like oh, what am I thinking? See, just went blank. Let's see. Oh, Vicky, what do you do? Yellow and chartreuse. Yeah, that chartreuse is really cool for lightening and brightening, and it does well with yellows and greens. Definitely, I agree. And then with beige, espresso. Espresso is another good one for shadowing. Another good one because it's kind of that brownish black. Deco pink. I don't use my deco pink as much as my deco yellow. and white. I haven't used white as much because I do cheat and use my Posca pen. All right. So as we can see, we still see some kind of just those little hints of that purple and the pink in there. Oh yeah, I agree, Kenny. Lozzie's, yours definitely sounds like amazing skin tone colors. Do you do a lot of portraits, Lozzie? Do you like, doing faces and things like that? Oh, this is so funny. So you guys are bringing up colors. I'm like, oh yeah, ooh, artichoke. Yep, and peacock green. That's another intense color. Oh my gosh, I love that color. Yeah, no, and the artichoke, you're absolutely right. In fact, I'm surprised I don't have artichoke out in this because I could see artichoke going in this picture really well. Yeah. Ooh. Up, Rain's changing her gray lavender to cream. Actually, you know what? Cream is funny because I probably use that more than I do whites, especially if I'm trying to do like what I did today with the, oh, I don't really want purple up there. What did I just do that for? Oh, well, we got one little flower way at the top. But hey, I can make this change. We're gonna have to use all of. Let's see. We're gonna find our marine green. Oops! I got so excited talking about colors. Let's see. Boy, there. Let's go over here. We're gonna start. We'll dull it down a bit with a bit of lime peel. There's one little flower that made it to the top story. Oops. Oops-a-daisy. Okay. Yeah, that's what y'all see. That's what I do whenever I make a mistake. I end up giggling at myself quite a lot. So I'm going to go in with we were just talking about him, my line peel, and I'm going to start kind of going over quite a few of these open spaces. And in just a moment, and this is what I mean about layers, because they all start really melding together and getting smoother and smoother. I will kind of use this almost over everything. Even, I've put in that jade, and it kind of starts making it all feel like it's one, but you see those slight variations. Hey, Sharon, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And thanks for popping in and saying something. It's very, very welcome. Have you been watching the other colorist? I think it's one thing, Vicky, I don't know if this is your intent, but as a byproduct of doing this amazing organization of something like this, I even get to find colors that I didn't know about. And I love that. I love being able to have that happen. Because it's not as easy as just type in adult coloring or colorist or whatever, and you get everything that, you get everybody. So everybody's trying to figure. So Sharon, I don't know if you've been here and been listening, but everybody's trying to figure out what their favorite Prismacolor colors are, and trying to name our top 5. Rain has put a challenge out there for us. Rain, when I finally did get my 150 set, because I started out like a lot of people, with the 30, and then I went to the 76 and all that. I got the 150 set so that I could follow along easier with colorful tutorials and knowing I have the set. And how about everybody else? How do you organize your pencils? What I have done with my Prismacolors and my Faber-Castell, because I do like to follow other tutorials and just it's almost like a paint by number for coloring, because I don't have to think about the colors, and I learn color combinations I don't typically use. It gets me out of my norm. But I organized all of my pencils by number, which is really hard to look at. It's not very pretty. But it sure helps when somebody says, oh, pencil number, in this case, let's see, 1005, I know where I can go find it. And then it also it helps me remember, like if there's a missing pencil um, or one that's low, I can easily reorder it as well. So, but that's how I organize it. Oh, thanks, Vicky, for putting that stream schedule up in there. Crimson Lake, another good red, and that's good with browns too. Browns and reds, and definitely good for deepening of like red hair and things. Yeah, good color choice. Excellent, Sharon. Yeah. Oh, Jen is amazing. We all love Jen. And we miss seeing her, but when she does come on, it's such a special thing. We get so excited. Oh, Elise, don't you dare apologize. At least you have a reason for doing misspellings. I'm just a horrible, horrible speller. So definitely do not apologize for that. My excuse is I'm a horrible speller. Definitely. So I don't know if you guys can see how it's starting really to kind of blend and blend in with one another. And this is just using, line peel to kind of go over everything. Now, probably what I'm going to do, because again, I kind of do that matching two spaces coming together. I will probably want to start doing down here and doing more of the ground and then kind of go up to this green once I get it a little bit more established. Cobalt turquoise, Shannon says. Now that's interesting. I don't know that I've used that much. Isn't it interesting? Because I do believe that we all gravitate to certain colors. But you know what? I'm going to have to go back and write down all these choice of colors, and because there's some that you're reminding me of. I'm thinking, how and where would I use that? All right, let's see. So I'm liking how this is going. I'm thinking of adding a little bit. I want something a little bit darker in there. I've got a darker green. I've got this olive green, so maybe we'll do a little bit of, well, that's not really dark, but I'm going to put a little bit more in there. I just want to start darkening this up. And this is all I do, guys. I just play until I either get tired of it or I feel like I've actually hit what I was kind of thinking of. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I color, nothing I color actually comes out exactly as I pictured it, but it sure does. I have it in my mind, and then I kind of go, well, this is neat. This will work too. So, it is. It's kind of like, it is a creative process. And sometimes I don't have a strong understanding of what I'm creating. And sometimes I stumble across stuff and go, ooh, I like that. Maybe that's what I meant a little bit more. Oh, thank you, Lulu. All right. Let's see. Now here comes. I want a little bit of brown over on that side. Why do I want brown? Because I didn't use brown before. Oh, well. Let's see. I'm going to put just a little bit of light umber in there. I don't know why I want to darken that down anymore. Maybe I'm just really thinking this is much, much darker. I kind of want it on the tree a little bit. Wait a minute. Kenny? Shocking memory? Uh-oh. Did I miss something? Ah! See? That's the only thing. When we get color in, then we can't see everything going on. All right. All right, we got about, what, an hour left, I think? So there's still, you know, I really, oh, I'm liking that, at least. Kind of doing my impressionist. This kind of reminds me of like Monet. Not that I can do near what Monet can, but that's what it reminds me of in the back. I've kind of done an impressionistic background. So what I do want to go ahead and do is right here. Can you see that right there? See how abrupt that really is? I want to smooth that out a little bit more. And now that I know how far over I can go with this darker green, now that I've brought this down, this is kind of what I mean about kind of going from the top and coming down and kind of making everything blend together. So I am going to grab, oh my gosh, the pencils, people. You should see what all I have everywhere. All right, let's bring out the marine green again, because that's what that looks like. And I'm just going to very lightly start bringing it out just a hair, because it looks very streaky. And kind of doing there. And then I'm going to bring it over to this side too. Can y'all see? Yeah, okay. Make sure I'm still in shot. Sharon, this book is, here we go. There's the front of it. Does anybody know? I do not know what country this particular artist is from. If she's Korean or Japanese, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's, yeah, Kenny put the name up, which is great. She also has done one called Rhapsody in Blue, or Rhapsody in the Forest. Oh, gosh, Rhapsody in Blue. And it's great with Prismacolors. Fantastic with Prismacolors for blending, and you can color really light, which is nice because then I don't have my fingers don't fatigue, which is good. Woo, Kenny, she's on the go. Look at her. Oh, you can still get it from Amazon? Awesome. She is well, this is a Japanese edition. I still don't know if that's if she's but yeah, she has 2 books that so far I really wish that she could come out with some more. And for having animals and things like that, it's just nice to do those every once in a while. So I like that. And they're these remind me a little bit of kind of going into kind of like Beatrix Potter. You know, they're very, I mean, they're realistic, especially once you get coloring them, but they're also very cute, you know, I guess. So it's kind of like Peter the Rabbit is a pretty realistic, you know, he's not I wouldn't say a cartoon, but he's done very fanciful. So y'all can see I just kind of go wherever I feel. But again, doing the little squiggles and the little ovals just help me not have as many straight lines. And it does help with the blending. Japanese. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you. I think I tell you what, since Sammy and them seem to always know about stuff, we'll be expecting them to know if the 3rd book comes out. So Sammy, you need to do some research, figure that one out. You seem to be in the know. I do. I had that Coloring Haven issue, and it was fantastic. Now, the only thing I'll say, and actually, Amberly and I were having this discussion yesterday. You know, the paper is going to be different because the Coloring Haven paper is different, though it's good, especially for a magazine, than the paper in the books. But still, beautiful stuff. Really, really beautiful. All right. So as you can see, I've kind of tried to start melding this in a little bit more, but it's still pretty stark between the 2 of them. Between that and that or this. So now I'm going to go in, and again, this is just, you know, random layers kind of thing, looking around. Going to grab my good old, going back with the old lime peel. Now, something else I try to do on my pages is, okay, and I'll show you this, is repetition of color. And I mean, I have a lot of pencils out, but even then I'm limited, like with my greens. So for my greens, I might have 3 or 4. But what I mean by repetition of color, so this kind of helps with, all right, you know what, hold on guys, I'm going to raise you up just so you can see it a little bit more while I talk about this. Whoop. Well, I thought I was going to raise you up a little bit more. Okay. Woo! Did everybody enjoy that ride? Okay, now we're wiggling. Trying to get that to come. Woo! Yes, Sammy does normally know about it. All right, so if we look at this picture, I'm trying to get as much of it in. We were talking about that for this book. We're hoping this artist brings out a third one, and we figured you are the only one, Sammy, that's going to know if she's going to bring it out. So you've got to let us know. We're putting you out there. You're our reconnaissance. You always seem to know about stuff like that. All right. So what I wanted to kind of point is, so we have this pink and purple going on along here. If you take colors and you repeat them, but they don't have to be right next, and they don't have to be exactly the same. It gives cohesion to the picture, and you don't have as many colors fighting. So I have the purples and lavenders. I then repeated them down here in the flowers, and I'll repeat them in the flowers on this side. And if you think, it kind of makes like a nice little pleasant triangle. So you have a little bit of color here, then we have it down here, and then we have it there. So the same thing with and so like my mushrooms have a little bit of that pinks and a little bit of, not much purple, but a little bit of pink. So you get that repetition and you get that kind of feel as well. The greens I'm using in different layering levels, but basically every green that I used in this Lily of the Valley, I have used in this fern, but I try to make it look a little different. I have used in these little mushrooms here, and that same greens for here. I don't go get new ones. And then all the greens you see in here are ones that I've used in this background as well. So it kind of helps. It helps me not get too crazy with colors. And that's one of the things I had to be careful with. And even up here with the Lily of the Valley flowers, I've used a slate gray, which mirrors here all the way down to the mushrooms down here. So kind of, take those colors once you've kind of decided what colors that you're using in general, and then start trying to use them for shadowing and for blending, because it kind of keeps everything in the same range. Because if I then popped in over here with this color green, this really bright green, or this even bluey green, that doesn't really match with what I was doing over here. So that's one of the ways I kind of keep myself from doing too many different colors in a picture, and then they all start combating with one another. I don't know if that helps any, but that's method to my madness. And it's pretty mad. All right. All right, I can bring you back down. Everybody hold on. Here we go. All right, prepare for the wiggle. Just a little bit. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Vicky. I go out, and when I do my searches to try to get inspiration, I do look for more for paintings and definitely illustrations. I don't necessarily go look for the real life. So my little mouse or whatever, I wouldn't go look up just harvest mouse. I'm looking for an illustration of a mouse. I'm looking for an illustration that's been either painted or used pencils, because it helps me pick out the colors and I can see more. Whereas when I'm looking at a real picture, it's harder for me to pick out all those little individual colors. Definitely. I didn't paint, not yet. Let's see. So where am I at? I went off on a tangent. More green. I don't even know. I've got colors everywhere. Colors everywhere. So again, just kind of using my lime green to be my blender, my kind of, it's kind of the continuing, the thing that's constant. And it blends all the greens and blues, well, a little bit of the jade green and stuff. And I just keep building until I get the intensity that I want. Sorry about the puppy. Leslie joined. Hi, Leslie. I see ya. There you are. Thanks for joining in. All right. Let's see. So as you can see, we've kind of made it kind of mirror in a little bit more. Now I could, and I am really thinking this, trying to look at the other side and look at the blending to make sure that they're pretty similar, which I feel like they are. All right, so let's see. We've got about 50 minutes. Now, like I said, what I would normally do is now bring it up from the bottom. So what I'm going to start is probably right in here and bring it up. We know this is going to be more browns. And again, this is very much the same squiggly wiggly that we were doing before. And I just start kind of, I want more brown to start being introduced. And I am going to just arbitrarily, what did I pick? We're going for sienna brown. So, Mahusive group hug time. Aw, group hug. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're just, and the big thing here is getting all these little crevices. And I like this because this starts making the flowers kind of pop out as well. And I do this kind of random as well because dirt's not all the same color. Light hitting it makes it look different. Parts of it are dry, parts of it are wet. There's shadows on it. So, you know, your dirt's never just one color. The biggest thing I would say if you're just starting coloring is just be prepared that nothing is really only one color. If you're trying to get like different depths and things, you have to put in those highlights, so the lightest colors, and those low lights, the darkest colors, are really important. That shading in those different, you know, it's kind of like when you put makeup on with the contouring that everybody does. You know, to really make things stand out, you have to have those lights and those darks. I'm just going to keep coming up here just a little bit. Oh my gosh, the amount of hearts on here are so fantastic. I look up and all I see is a sea of red hearts on the chat. That was so lovey-dovey today. I love it. I think we're all feeling it. We really want to feel connected. And it's lovely to see. You guys are rock. You really, really do. Every time I do one of these, I'm like, why don't I do more? But it's so, you know, it's for me right now, it's a challenge. And part of it is I have this garden thing going on outside, and I'm really, and I've got it going here in the house as well, with the seeds I've sown. And then now it's going to be more challenging because we do not have a big house, and my husband's up in the loft, which is completely open. I mean, our house, as you heard earlier, because the echo, I think really is because our house is very open, lots of hard surfaces. We don't have we have a couple rugs, but we don't have carpets in the house. So when he's on his conference calls, okay, that's, you know, you guys would have heard it clearly. He's actually not here today. He ran down to our apartment down in New York. He's not been there for over a month. And when he left, he did not expect to be in the situation for so long. He really thought it was going to be maybe a week or 2 weeks. And needs to say, we all know that we've learned that's not true. You know, this has all lasted a lot longer. So he's not been in the apartment. So he went down there with strict orders that he has to go in the apartment and out of the apartment, and that's it. No wandering around and stuff, because of course New York and that New Jersey area, that little tri-state area right there, is very heavily affected right now. So I was giving him some marching orders, but we needed to go check on the apartment. And it's funny, he did really well. He normally does clean out his refrigerator very well. And he the only thing he left was like a half gallon of milk. He said, nope, did not open that because it's been a month in the refrigerator. So luckily the apartment was fine. Everything was fine. Yes, Leslie, my husband works in New York City, and we have a place up here in Vermont, which I'm full-time in Vermont. He works down the city and comes up on weekends. But his job, they all went to remote working because of COVID. And so luckily I got him up here. So, but he had to go down and check the apartment. Yeah. So hopefully he is right back out this afternoon. I think he was looking for some just quiet time without me around. in his car. That's been a new thing. So when you get used to living on your own again, see, I mean, this has been going on. We're starting our third year of where we're kind of separated. It's really funny because, it's like we're newlyweds or something, trying to get used to having each other around all the time. So very, very different. But I do think the funny thing is that I start trying to tempt him down from the loft because I'm ready about 5:30 or 6 each evening. And I've gotten to where I've started the blender going, the margarita blender. And then I start yelling, "It's frozen time," because he had one of the guys he works with has a daughter who loves Frozen, and every once in a while the guy's like, "Dudes, I got to get off the call. I have to go watch Frozen again." So so we started. I'm like, "Hey, it's Frozen time." So these people on his calls are like, "This woman's weird. They don't have any small children. She's always talking about Frozen, or she's always starting margaritas." Oh, and I like to sing Jimmy Buffett songs too. So I'm a drunk that likes to watch Frozen, I think is what my reputation might start being portrayed as. Oh, Mona. Okay, so you're a New Yorker. Yep, across the border. It was so funny when I moved to Vermont. All right, let's see. Hold on, wait 1 second before I get going here. Espresso. Where's my espresso? And no, I'm not asking for. And needless to say, I'm going to use espresso, but I don't have my. Oh no! See, this is. Oh, I found it. There's the card. Ding. Oh, so you are quite a bit upstate. I mean, it's so funny how New York refers to upstate anything that basically isn't Manhattan, that area. And it just drives me like weird because with you being up close to Canada, that is really upstate New York. I mean, but, so that makes Albany and my area not so much because I'm down in southern Vermont. Not so much. So, you really are upstate up there. And I always think it's funny. So when we first moved here, one of the guys we kept talking about that we weren't far from the border. And I'm all like, what? I'm thinking, we're not that close to Canada because I'm from Texas. So when you talk about a border, you're talking a border with a country. Well, what he was talking about was the border to New York. And he made it sound like that was a big thing to cross over. Now, he is a true Vermonter. And I think he does believe that but he kept talking about crossing the border. And I was so confused. But, for me, Texas, when you talk about borders, usually you're talking about Mexico to a whole different country. We don't even think about necessarily the border with Louisiana. We just go into Louisiana, Oh, thanks, Kenny. I'm not a drunken, frozen, obsessed woman. Hey, but I have to tell you, getting the blender going or popping a cork of some sort seems to get him down those stairs and out of that loft. Just saying. So you guys can see how light I'm doing this. This will just keep getting heavier and heavier. And I will start blending in with green a little bit more. But I like doing all these different shades because it adds, I don't know, it makes it a little bit more interesting than if I just used one brown and then tried to shade that brown through heavier strokes. This allows me to do a lot of mixing. I do this all the time for my backgrounds, for my skies with my blues and purples and blacks to create night skies. I mean, I use, as you can tell, I mean, I don't have a lot of tricks, but I do reach back into my bag again and again when it comes to coloring. Whatever works to get him down. Nice, Leslie. Little Mai Tai action looks like there. Yeah, and that is a hard thing with working at home. It's been driving me nuts. Not having that separation. For me, my computer in this area where I'm at coloring is my relaxation. And because work is intruded upon that now, I don't like it. Don't like it. Me no likey at all. All right, what did I just pull out now? See, this is just kind of random. We're going to go for, we're leaving espresso and we're going for chocolate. And I start doing things like crossing over the different patches again with like something like chocolate, and it kind of helps me merge those two colors, and you can start seeing it's really going to start layering up and darkening down. All right. Yeah, I don't like not having that separation from home. I finally, after I haven't been at SLP for very long, a speech path for very long. I graduated in 2012. It was a career change for me, and but I just this year, this school year, starting in October or September of 2019, have gotten to the point that I wasn't bringing my work home and I wasn't doing things at home. That I would work at the school as late as I needed to, but I didn't bring things home. Now, sometimes that would be 4:30 or 5. When I came home and came back to the cottage, it did not have work in it. And I really was proud of that. And then, no, no, it's not letting me do that now because we have to work from home. Okay, so Joanne, you got it. You got it. Put the lime in the, I do that one too. I do that one too. You put the lime in the coconut and shake it all up. You put the Oh, Lozzie, that is one of my favorite ones. In fact, I'm so glad somebody brought that up because I want to watch that sometime before my husband comes back. Not because he doesn't like it, he's just sick of watching it. But I love that. That and Mamma Mia. Oh, Mamma Mia, the movie Practical Magic and Mamma Mia are like this feel-good, fun girl movie that I just love them. I love them. So yeah, that's a good one. Thank you for bringing that one up. I need to remember. Kermit. All right, what did Kermit, as in Kermit the Frog? Or is that one of your favorite movies? Do you? That yeah. So what are the other two that you watch every Halloween, Lozzie? All right, so we're still just wiggling and squiggling, and as you can see, I'm really using my chocolate to kind of come in and go over and start deepening a lot of these. So see if you can see. Oh, you're a Gone with the Wind. Well, that's a heck of an intro, Vicky. Gone with the Wind. That is one that when you hear that going, you know, and he's out like a shot. You know what's funny is my husband, and it's also the Harry Potters because they're on all the time, especially right now. It's like every time I turn on, I will cook to Harry Potter, whatever one is on, because I don't have to watch it. I know it so well. So, like, if I do have to cook, which I'm not a good cook, I'll throw on Harry Potter just seems to have been on recently. Now, my husband always moans when he hears it. He's like, "Is that Potter again?" And I'm all like, "Yes, it is." And he knows it is. And it's so funny because I catch him standing and watching it. So it's like, dude, don't tell me you don't like Harry Potter. That's just wrong. You're fibbing to me. Let's see. Oh. All right, now. Huh. Okay. This is one of those colors I didn't think I. Oh, in fact, I didn't. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but I didn't write the name on here, just the number. I obviously got distracted and forgot. So I've got beige here, and I'm going to do a little bit of beige and start making some rocks, kind of like outlines a little bit, and then I will darken around them. This is going to be really hard for you to see. I'm going to do some over here and just kind of put it in there. So let me show you what I'm trying to do. Do you see over here I have some textures of like there's rocks in the soil? Now I'm going to try to mimic that. I kind of forgot to do that up. I probably should have done it up in this area. So now I'm going to do it down here a little bit. This will just not have as many rocks as this side, which is fine because nature doesn't always have lots of rocks. So I like putting that in there just for a little bit of a difference. So what do we got? Nightmare Before Christmas and Hocus Pocus and Practical Magic is what Lozzie James likes to, you like to watch whenever you're around Halloween. Those are all good, definitely. The Victoria series intro. The Victoria. Now, what is that, Vicky? Does Kermit really sing the coconut song too? Oh, I might have to go out and try to look that up. That's funny. Oh, Kermit. Victoria series. What is that? I would think that that's kind of like also over in England, like when Poldark starts. I would think men would kind of run, or maybe even the Outlander. Oh, the Queen Victoria. You're right. Oh, you're funny. Oh God, I love that. That one is so. I love that theme, and I like that series. Oh my gosh! So we know how to kind of keep men at bay with certain movies and things. That's great. That is a great series. Your sister-in-law's not a musical fan. We didn't invite her anymore. And Downton Abbey. Now, Downton Abbey's funny. I think Downton Abbey pulls in the guys, and I don't know why, but I do think guys watch more Downton Abbey than probably just about any other of the ones that we've been talking about. Oh, yes, I do. The minute that you explained it was Victoria, yeah, it went in my head. And no, I'm not going to sing it. Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Now, Mamma Mia is one that my husband does. In fact, he actually said the other day, he's like, you haven't watched Mamma Mia in a while, which translates into he kind of wanted to watch Mamma Mia. Not that he would admit it, but he wanted to. Oh, what do I got? Oh, I'm doing light umber. So get beige off there. Yeah, I've got to organize these so much better in the future if I do this. I had fun making these little swatches. I liked making them. Oh, Lord, people, I can't find my light umber swatch thingy. Doohickey card. It's probably on the floor. That's where I've been finding some of them. My husband saw me making these swatches and was like, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "It's like your OCD has found even new things to do." And I'm like, "Yeah, it has." Pole dark. Oh my gosh. Okay, so speaking of pole dark. So there is somebody on Instagram, or no, he was on Twitter. I don't really do Twitter anymore, but it was on Twitter, and I was following him, and he is the Herdwick Shepherd, and he's written a book and stuff, and he's a shepherd of Herdwick, sorry, sheep in England, and he really kind of came to fame. And Leslie. um, so he kind of came to fame because he'd take these wonderful, beautiful pictures out while he's herding these sheep, and he then wrote a book and everything. But one of his tweets was hilarious. He said that so it was like during the winter, and it's whenever he's not with his sheep, whatever that is, whatever time of year he's not, or they're down, maybe it's summertime. Him and his wife started watching Poldark, and and he tweeted basically, he goes, been watching Poldark with the wife, and he kind of just summarized it. And it was so funny because he goes, so summarize the last 4 episodes. Oh, Poldark, or whatever the guy's name. And then it goes, heaving bosom, heaving bosom, heaving bosom. And then it would be like, something happens. And then you'd be like, heaving bosom, heaving bosom. And I was just dying laughing because now I can't watch it without, every time a woman gets really, in those period pieces, when the women get really upset, they all do that chest breathing thing. And it just cracks me up because they're all, they got top shelf chests that are going up and down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's his impression, and probably why he's watching Poldark, because of all the lovely heaving bosoms. It was very funny. Sometimes when I tell these stories, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be telling these stories. You guys are hilarious. Like I said, I wish I could, because I have so much fun doing these live streams, but I'm such a slow colorist that they're so boring. They're so like, oh, she's still going in circles in the corner. I mean, look how long I've been working on my dirt. because I can work on dirt for a long time. Yeah, it is those corsets. Are you enjoying me coloring my dirt, Lozzie? Silly, silly. Okay, so just to let you guys know, because I haven't mentioned it. So as you saw, I did all those different colors. I now am going over everything. Did you my faux calligraphy, Patty? Oh, I kicked the camera. Sorry, guys. Um, I'm getting way too excited. It's probably echoing again. Um, I'm going over everything in this light umber, and then you still get all those different variances of the browns. So that's what I'm doing right now. Seriously, it's not boring, really, watching me do circles. Okay. Oh, and then something else, because this is a darker color, just to kind of show you. So see, so I put in, let's see if I can put in these little like quasi rocks. Well, then I start using my darker colors to kind of give them that edging. So think about rocks, even if they're light colored rock, they still would have like a shadow. And it also helps when I start going accidentally over stuff, or not accidentally or intentionally. They'll stand out a little bit more. So we're going to do a couple more rocks here on the edge. And then, all right, so now I'm going to start doing my blending, going over with light umber. Well, awesome. Please, please, please do. Vicky does these things, and I love it. I love it. The last one I wasn't able to participate in, but I definitely will try. My husband's, I mean, he is great, and if he was here, he'd actually be trying to sit outside, which is not good because it's rainy and or snowing periodically. Um, but he knows I enjoy it, and I enjoy talking with all of y'all and getting connected again, because I am so in and out all the time, which is, I just keep trying to do streams and I keep trying to do things, but sometimes life gets a little annoying, it just does. Y'all are some strange people, Lozzie, if y'all get excited about lots of little circles. Isn't it funny that the soil is going to take me longer than this up here did? But it is because I don't really, I mean, like I said, I go in kind of light, I do my circles, and then I come in with other colors, and I just keep darkening down because I really, trying to match it up. So we get some soil there, some dirt. Yeah, I tell that to my husband all the time, especially black circles. It's transfixing, isn't it? It's just amazing. It's amazing. All right. Let me go ahead and bring in for some excitement back my, yes, you guessed it. Let's go get some marine green. Let's see. Yeah, but the coloring slow, and I've said this so many times. All right, so I'm going to start bringing up the green from here. Remember, I'm trying to get this darker green, this area, to do like this right here, where it kind of melds into that background a little bit. I love the process of color, and I love backgrounds because once I get to these more individual little pieces, it's not, I start getting a little bit more nervous. I don't know if other people do, but the littler pieces are a little bit harder. Whereas these backgrounds, I just feel like I can be more casual and creative with it. And they always kind of just develop on their own. So, and it's funny because that's why I was asking you guys what elements you might be interested in. And that's because when I post something like this, whether it's on Instagram or what, I get questions of how did you do your background? Now, could you imagine me in a Instagram response trying to tell people how I did this? It just doesn't work. I can't do that because I don't even know sometimes. It's easier to show. Definitely easier to show. Talking, yeah. So the backgrounds actually make it a little bit easier to talk in color. But I do enjoy it, so. Watching. Oh, Les, 2:30 a.m. Leslie, where are you? Where are you that it's 2:30 a.m. in the morning? Are you, wait, does that make you over near Australia? I probably just showed my lack of geography and time knowledge. I probably just really showed that pretty bad. Oops. Who? What? Who's pasting my channel link? We're here. You want me to what? What is that? What channel link? Whose? Mine? Oh, goody, goody, Leslie. Well, sorry it's 2:30 in the morning and that you're awake, but thank you for being here. But oh, good, that didn't make me feel so bad. I was like, holy cow, where in the world could she be? Okay, that makes me feel a little better. You know, us Americans, we're not always known for our geography knowledge, so I got to be careful. Yeah. Well, I do. So, rain in a lot of my videos, and some people like it and some people don't. What I'll do is I'll kind of talk about what I'm doing in a process, and then I do the speed coloring while after I've spoken about the process. So I do try to do that a little bit, um, but I don't always do. And that's the thing, you know, live streams. I definitely can't do that. So, oh, I get it, Vicky. I'm like, what? What? Oh, poor Vicky. You're so misunderstood. Oh, I get it now. That would makes it to use my channel link as my response to how do you do it? Well, I don't do everyone, you know, I don't videotape every picture that I do. So sometimes that gets me. But you know, a lot of times I when people ask about that, I then will do a video. And that's why a lot of my videos aren't so much about the pictures, but about maybe a particular element in the video. Again, because I love whatever. So Vicky, you did this most amazing Chinese dragon. I think it was a Kirby Roseanne's, wasn't it? Um, and it was amazing. And it must have been what, 4 videos that you did it. And that's because you are a lot quicker than I am. That same thing would have been about a 25 video or episodes or whatever if I had done it. And so that's why I do a lot of my little element stuff usually. All right, so now we're going to leave marine green and we're going to go yellow. Okay, so do y'all remember how, what is it? Just went blank. Sesame Street was always brought to you by a letter. This is going to be a stream that is brought to you by the color lime peel. 800 hours. Oh my gosh. Well, it's always amazing when you see some of these, and there are some amazing colorists that are on Instagram that I really wish would do some type of video showing how they do it. I really want to start trying to figure out how to do, and again, I limit myself a little bit because I only use colored pencils most of the time. With markers on top of my colored pencils is probably the only other thing that I do kind of different than a lot of people, is really, really dark, mystic backgrounds. And I haven't found a way to do those quite yet. But I see some, and I know a lot of them use like watercolors, or they use acrylics, or they're very multimedia. But I really want to try to figure out how to do some of those really dark, have that confidence to do some of that dark colors and pages, because some of them are so beautiful. What? How did we get to Vicky as our SpongeBob of coloring? She's ready. She's ready. She's ready. 25 streams on the scales. They were amazing. In fact, that is one that I'm thinking, Vicky, of trying to do, where I follow you and do it. So follow your stream and do it. Again, I love doing that with some of, with quite a few of the colorists, because sometimes it's just nice to have somebody else pick the colors, choose the arrangement, and I just get to, get immersed in the technique. And I might use that technique someplace else, but I like just following other colorists because of that. I think that that's such a great way. It's one of the reasons why I like make. All right, so Rain says make a copy of a page and practice dark. Yeah. Well, the Coloring Haven is really good for that, the magazine. One of the reasons I like it is because the magazine doesn't have it doesn't have pictures on both sides. So other than the paper being kind of light, but if I can make it work with lightweight is what I mean. If I can make it work in a Coloring Haven, then I'll feel more confident transferring it into, let's say, a book like this. So yeah, that is kind of, I started doing it on one, wasn't coming out right. So, but I do like using the Coloring Haven for those purposes. But that's a great suggestion. Yeah, that's right, and practice it. You guys, I love it. All right, looky there. We're getting there. Now, this is just kind of take a look. So see how light everything is over here compared to how dark it is over here. This is called layers. We will just be layering and layering and layering. So it's all fun, right? Let's see. I am going to get my olive green out. Maybe. There it is. All right. And again, just kind of, and I go in both of the colors. I'm kind of using this like I did the chocolate. I'm going to go over, darken up some spots. Remember, we can get pretty dark down in here. And that's kind of the idea. So Lazi Jane, I literally have, and I think about this all the time, is from Nemo, where she sings "Just Keep Swimming," and I'm like, just keep layering, just keep layering. That's what we do. We layer, because that is. And it's so funny because I've never gotten this comment, and I always expect to get a comment from somebody. Especially, there's a lot of times I'll go in with some of my tombos and go over all this layering I've done, and they're like, I expect somebody to go, why did you even bother doing the layering? You just colored over it with, like this with all the brown. Why didn't you just? And it's weird, but I know I wouldn't be able to get that same color if I hadn't done those previous layers, even when I do my markers. But I also don't know for sure if that's true. But I just know this is, you kind of get into your style. And when I can make things look like I want, doing it a certain way, I kind of don't want to change it. So, but I always expect somebody to just go, looks like a big waste of time. Why are you layering? But I've not gotten anything like that. So that's kind of nice. Now we're talking about Sarah Lee and her cakes, huh? Is that where we went now? Somehow we got from layering to layer cakes. Ooh. So my husband and I watched the Great British Baking Show or whatever, and we're quite behind because I kind of like doing that. I kind of don't get into series until I know there's at least 2 or 3 seasons, or 10 in this case. Oh my gosh, it's so funny because I get so frustrated. Like, I can't watch a lot of reality TVs because most of the reality is insane to me, and it's like I don't like the thought that people are really that crazy and they're out in the world, the same world I'm in. So like reality shows don't always. But this one I've always loved because they're very nice to one another. The competition is there, but it's not. They don't really want to beat each other. They just want to be the best baker, and that's a nice competition. But there's times when there's people who I don't think earned their way to whether it's semifinal or final, and I get really frustrated. My husband's almost banned me from watching. He goes, I hate watching the last 4 episodes. You always get so mad. So obviously I'm not very good to watch even a baking show with. uh, let's see. All right. So we're getting there. It's weird because it's not as vivid as what I'm seeing. Isn't that weird? You always don't, but and then as you see, I'm backing down in my green into that brown. And it just makes it, makes it look a little bit more natural, makes it look like it's more just a gentle kind of move. You don't get that line of soil. Oh my gosh, Vicky. So that's the other thing. When we watch those darn shows, every time about after their second or during their technical, which is always the second thing that they do, my craving for wanting sweets. So my husband and I, since this whole COVID thing and being stuck together in a good way, we always start getting hungry. And so we've been having a pie in the house because there's some places around that have really good pies. Well, the place with the best pie has had to close because they were mandated to. But we'll have pie and ice cream every night while we're watching it. I know. That's all I want is some type of sweet baked goods. So yeah, I have to be careful about that. Oh, God. Okay, Lozzie, you feel my pain? You feel my pain? Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like the baking show one drives me nuts because they have all these challenges. It's 12, it's 12 weeks or however many weeks it is. I don't think it's quite 12. But anyways, there's a lot of, there's a bunch of weeks. And they always say they're just judging on that week. They don't take into consideration that somebody has won, let's say, best baker or whatever 5 times. But if that one week they're the worst, they get voted off. And I mean, it's the best baker, not the best everything. And a lot of times the people that make it all the way through, they had some really bad weeks. They just had somebody who was worse than them, But I guess it's the classic. You just always have to be better than last place. But yeah, so I get frustrated. And I always think, oh, they're kind of biased for different reasons as well. I don't watch a whole lot of sports either because I'm probably like that. Oh, now I used to watch Deadliest Catch a lot, Vicky. I have not watched it in years. I don't know what it was about that one. I mean, it was the same show every time if you think about it. I mean, they were still just fishing, but there was something about it. Yeah, I used to watch it all the time too. Never understood why. And my husband thought it was really weird that I was into it. I thought it was too, but I really liked it. I don't know. Isn't that weird? But it was the same show every week. I mean, they did the same thing. They threw the pots over, they pulled up the fish. Some people weren't doing well. There was, but basically it's the same show, just again and again. Okay. Goodness me. All right. So when we come back tomorrow, we will definitely, I'm going to go and work on this a lot more. I'm going to finish it out for the next, 10 minutes or so as we finish up. This right here still needs a lot more layers for me to get really, really comfortable with it. But probably what I'll do is I'll be working on other elements here. So I'm going to leave a mouse, and what else should I leave for us? Probably this mushroom, though it's not an amazing color. It's this little putty one, but I really like this little mushroom. So maybe that one. And anything else that you guys can see? I'm trying to think what else. Maybe I'll leave one of the little, oh, I know what else I want to show you guys, and that'll be something that we'll do. So I'll finish coloring quite a lot, except for the mouse and maybe the toadstool. Maybe we'll do that together as well. Maybe this little section right here I'll kind of leave. But I want to come back in and show you how you use my Poscas. Because if you look, the edges of my mushrooms and things, you don't really see the really dark lines. So see that line there should be across here, and it's not. And so I'll show you also how I use that. Everything, the mouse, the mushroom, and a leaf, one leaf. I'll do one leaf. Leave it alone. Yeah, so yeah, well, and then we can kind of show how I finish it up and kind of get rid of some of those lines, because I think that's what starts making it look a little bit more like a painting and less of a coloring book, is when you get rid of those lines. But what's really neat is I don't just leave it white, just everything. You guys are so helpful. All right, well, I will definitely leave something. How's that? And you know, look at this, guys. This is all those cards that I have everywhere. I feel like I should be, look at this. This is why I was so bamboozled and lost trying to find everything. So here's all my colors. Quick, write them all down. These are all the colors we're using. Everybody, quick, 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 write it down. Boom. There we go. All right. Sorry. I know, being silly. That's what I'll do. When somebody says, what colors did you use? I'll just go and go, there they are. Oh, I have two more. Don't want you to forget those. All right. So anyway, so I will be back tomorrow afternoon. Help me with the time. I don't have my schedule. I want to say, is it 3 o'clock? Was that when at 3 o'clock Eastern time? We all need coloring assistants. We do. Lozzie, get on over here. Hey, Leslie, way down yonder. Come up here. Down yonder. Look at me. Sometimes I go way southern and I don't know why. Okay, so yes, I'll leave some elements. Like I said, I really wanted to finish a page on a live stream, and I don't think I've ever done that, so I'm hoping. Oh, the snail. So I do have a snail done, little slimy guy. So yeah, we could definitely do the snail. So because I'll do him similar. So okay, so I'm thinking, you know, this will, maybe I leave like a box right here, because y'all saw how long it took me just to do to do the background. You guys, I've had such a wonderful time, and thank you for being here. You guys are more than welcome. Vicky, thanks for inviting me. I love it. And I will be stalking Sammy because she's coming up next, and all the subsequent ones. Vicky, I will be in yours, I hope, tonight. I should. Yours is tonight, right? I'm supposed to have a cocktail hour with my friend in Alaska, because we were supposed to be in Vegas this week, and needs to say we're not there. And so she bought a dress and she wants to put it on and she wants to have a cocktail with me. So I'm not sure what time that's supposed to happen. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of the Color-A-Thon. I'll hopefully see most of y'all tomorrow, and stay safe, and bye for now. Thanks for joining me.